And there we have it, guys. Another extremely stressful end to a game. This time, it didn't end in heartbreak, although it almost did. 2-2 against Leicester, going into 7 minutes of added time, and it's finished 4-2. And do you know what? Obviously, I'm elated with the result. It's such a good result. But the funniest thing is, all 8 of the Man City fans would have been watching that going, ha! They're dropping points at home to Leicester. Unlucky. And then 7 minutes later, well, it was actually a bit more than that. It's 4-2. So to all those City fans, unlucky. Maybe next time. Well, probably there'll be another time. We'll bottle it another day, okay? But what a game. Absolutely extraordinary that Leicester were even in it. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? The first goal they scored was fluky. It's just deflected in. And the James Justin goal is just superb quality, but 1 in 100 of those go in. So you're just sitting there thinking, right, so somehow, even though we've dominated and smashed them for pretty much the entirety of this game, they're actually going to get a point. And actually, at times I thought, this is just one of those days they're going to nick a winner at the end as well. But you can see here, it was absolute domination for the entire game. A completely different look to the City result, obviously. 4.06 expected goals to 0.27, 36 shots, 9 big chances. And for sure, I mean, I don't know if it will actually go to him, but, because obviously they lost the game. But Hermansen, wow, is he... Sorry, can we just double check he's not actually German and Manuel Neuer's half-brother or something? Because what the hell was that? Just... save after save after save. He was genuinely incredible. And this is where I think man of the match or player of the match is a bit silly. It's technically always given to someone on the winning team, and I understand that, but let's be real, there was not a better football player on that pitch than Hermansen. What a performance from him. If Leicester stay up this season, I guarantee you, it won't be a striker, it won't be a midfielder that does it, it'll be him. Hermansen will keep them in the Prem. But honestly, just quickly talking on Leicester, because, it wasn't that long ago they were one of the top sides. It's weird that this has happened. They're back in the Premier League where they should be, and they're looking okay. I think, obviously, this was always going to be a tough game for them, but they've had some, I think, very unlucky results since the start of the season. It seems like Trossard, it just refreshed, and I think Trossard got man of the match. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's good to see them back. And I hope, genuinely, I hope that Leicester can stay up and build. I think it's going to be a struggle, though, because they are a little bit wasteful in front of goal. I'm not just talking about today, by the way, from what I've seen so far this season. And whilst I like Steve Cooper, maybe he could be a little bit braver in some of these matches I've seen with Leicester, but... today was a really, really tough game for them no matter what. You're coming up against a very good side in Arsenal, and we don't really drop points at home very often at all. So I think they done all right. And by the way, I'm not saying Steve Cooper's a bad manager. Far from it. I just think in the game so far, you can tell that they're worried. I think he does need to just see this as they're back where they should be, play. And I think their results will turn around. They will start getting what they deserve, because they haven't won a game yet, but they definitely deserve to have won a couple of these games they've played. But definitely not today. Let's go through the lineup. We had a bit of a curveball going into it. Raya supposedly wasn't fit, and then he was fit and started. So a little bit strange. I think a little bit of mind games going on there from Arteta. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth doing mind games when it comes into a game like this. If we had City today... then that's different. Being able to say something like, oh, our main goalkeeper isn't fit, and then throwing him in, that's a bit of a curveball. But to us fans, we weren't expecting Raya. We got Raya. Not really anything to do with him, the 2 goals. No chance he was saving the first one, deflected. And the second goal, like I said, it's just an absolute wonder strike. So no problems with Raya today, just one of those days. Timber was excellent. And I've got to say, I love Ben White. Ben White is one of my favourite Arsenal players, but if Timber continues to play like he is, he has to start. I mean, how can we get Timber into the side with Ben White, with Calafiori, who I'll talk about in a moment, with Gabriel, with Saliba? Does Timber go into midfield? Well, then when Erdegaard's back and Marino's fit, I mean, he has to play. I'm going to sneeze. We're rolling with it. These are one takes. I'm allergic to late stress, okay? I can't keep going through these these last minute winners with Arsenal, it's been happening too often in the last few years. Always remember the Bournemouth one. I had a similar reaction. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of sad. You know, it's Leicester at home and I'm squealing like a little girl when that third goal goes in. But yeah, Timber, I think technically wise might be a better option at right back compared to Ben White. But Ben White does bring something a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it. There's something about Ben White. He's kind of elusive. And can anyone please leave a comment? Tell me what's in here right now? Because on paper, Ben White isn't a right back. We all know this, and we have known it for a while. He's not your typical right back, but it works really well. And in games like today, and what we've seen so far since Timber's come back from his injury, he's much more fitted to playing on that side, right? Is it just me that thinks this? It does feel like Timber might be the future. I don't know. It's really tough. But one thing is for certain, okay, and I'm claiming credit. I'm tapping my back here. Well done, Matt, because I called it. As soon as Calafiori would get a run of games, he would make that left-back position his. I remember getting a few comments, people saying, nah, it won't happen. Timber owns that role. Maybe Timber still deserves to be the starting left-back when Ben White's fit. But for me, and I think it's going to happen, Calafiori is our left-back. He just is. He is absolutely perfect for that role of kind of false back, inverted left back. He's also extremely good at providing options down that left side. And what else does he bring? Martinelli. He brings Martinelli to life. It's almost as if having a left-footed player on the left side suits the dynamics a little bit better. And I'm telling you this as well, as soon as Marino's fit, he is going to bring Martinelli into the game more as well, because the whole left side will improve. I actually think if Ødegaard's fit, obviously he comes in, then it's our best 11. I genuinely believe that Raya should start in goal, Timber right back, Saliba, Gabriel centre backs, Calafiori left back, and then I'd go with Rice in the middle, Ødegaard, Marino on the sides of that midfield three, Saka, Martinelli, Havertz. On our best day, on their best days, that is our best team. Trossard probably should be in there if Martinelli is still struggling. So that's a great problem to have. But that's kind of where I see this team going. And unfortunately, that does mean that maybe Ben White doesn't start, which is madness, isn't it, considering how good he's been. How did Sterling do when he came on? I thought he was pretty good, but Martinelli didn't deserve to go off, in my opinion. It was a bit of a shame to see that. But one player that really grabbed the game, to be fair, Nwaneri, wow. Just coming in like that, as if he owns the pitch. It was absolutely incredible. He just kind of walked onto the pitch, got on the ball, had a shot, plenty of passes, broke up the play a few times, great sliding tackle. Genuinely, that is what you call a game-changing substitution. I'm not saying he caused us to get that third goal and fourth goal, but he was making things happen. And for me, I think he should start. I really do. If Ødegaard's not fit, and maybe PSG at home isn't the right game to start him, but I almost think, why not? Why not? Let's see Rice, Partey, Nwaneri, and then Trossard on the left, and maybe Martinelli comes on as a sub, but give Nwaneri a start. Why not? I can't really see it as a downside. Okay, if he doesn't have the best first half performance and we take him off at half time, and then we go again. But he was just so good. And I just think he's basically Ødegaard. He really plays in a very similar way. And the fact that he's left-footed and the fact that he wants to be in those central areas, in the pockets behind the strikers and the wingers, it's just, he's like a carbon copy. And I truly believe that Nwaneri deserves a lot of game time if he can keep up this form. Maybe PSG isn't the right call, but maybe next weekend we give him a start. Jesus came on and didn't really impact the game too much, didn't have much time to affect it. But we've talked about Martinelli and Trossard's last minute kind of deflected goal. The 3-2, just unbelievable. And Havertz with a scrappy goal, but it will take it. In the end, there's been 6 goals today and we've scored 4 of them, and that's great. Oh, it looks like Hermansen has actually got, well, this is just the point system on FOTMob. I don't know who's actually got man of the match. But we needed to win by 4 today to go top of the table. So unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. But now we draw level with City. That is absolutely vital. We needed to win today because they've now drawn 2 games in a row. Newcastle did us a huge favour earlier today. And of course, that does mean that Liverpool can go top by a point if they win it against Wolves. Yeah, they're playing Wolves today. So it's exactly what we needed. Just a better goal difference and we would have been top. But do you know what? 6 games in, and let's be very honest, okay? If you exclude today and maybe Wolves at the start, we've had a very, very difficult run of games. You know, Villa away, Spurs away, City away, Atalanta away in a midweek game with just 2 days rest before the City game. You know, we've definitely had a very busy schedule, and today was the first time I feel like we could take a little step back and maybe not leave second gear, but you can't really do that in the Premier League. And we saw that. We got punished by a team that weren't really offering much. Maybe it was a bit fluky. Maybe it was a bit lucky. But on another day, we dropped points. And these are the results. You look back at the end of the season and go, do you know what? I mean, that draw against Leicester killed us. We could have lost the title again this year by 2 points, and we could have looked back at this exact game. So last minute or not, we've got the win. We've got the result. And we're still unbeaten. The goal difference is looking good. I think, 5 conceded is still very, very healthy. I know conceding 2 to Leicester isn't good enough, but they're just freak goals. They really are. It is what it is. But I'll be watching that Wolves-Liverpool game with a keen eye, hoping Wolves can do us a favour. And let's have a look at our fixtures before we go. So we've got PSG on Tuesday, and then, of course, it's the Southampton game at home. Bournemouth away. There's an international break here, right? So that'll be really good to get Marino fully fit and ready to, I guess, make his debut against Bournemouth. But I think Arteta was saying he might be ready for the Southampton game. So really, really excited to see him. Shakhtar at home and then Liverpool. Okay, so a mix of games, really. But do you know what? I reckon we'll still be unbeaten at the end of those. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next Operation Arsenal.